Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Annual Pass. This is the podcast where we talk about all things theme parks, rides, shows, attractions. If it happens inside of a theme park, we talk about it here on Annual Pass. I'm your host, Jack Pattillo, and of course, joining me as always is my lovely, talented, and beautiful co-host, BK. Hi, Beaks.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous.
Excellent. We had a fun episode today.
Yes.
So instead of talking about, like a specific ride attraction, we got a fun one. We're going to do a top 10 list, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But before we do that, let me remind you, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media stuff. We are annual_pass over on Twitter and on Instagram. We are Annual Pass Pod over on TikTok. Those TikToks are blown up.
Oh, yeah.
Lots and lots of TikToks over there. Check those out. We post those over to Instagram and our YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/annualpass. If you want to watch us live, you can do so over there. So anyway, also store, buy stuff from the store.roosterteeth.com. You can pick up, BK is rocking the This Is My Theme Park t-shirt right now that is pretty great. It's up in the store. We also have our brand new little mini backpacks up in the store as well.
Backpacks.
Go check those out. Also, don't forget we have postcards too. We love getting postcards from you. Cool. If you want to send us postcards, we love that from theme parks and all of that fun stuff. But let's dive in to today's episode. This is gonna be a fun one. So I don't know about you, BK. I love movies. Like I have a degree in film. That was
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I have an RTF degree from the University of Texas.
Okay, cool.
And so that's where I love movies. I saw probably thousands of movies over my college career. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking, I want to do an episode that wasn't like, we've done a lot of specific, ride, attraction, show episodes. And you know what? I want to do an episode where you and I come up with our favorite theme parks in movies. Ooh. We can also maybe throw in shows too. But yeah.
Okay.
So basically, anytime a theme park is popped up in a movie in some form or fashion, I want to talk about it here. And I've got a top 10 list of my own personal top 10, and then I don't know if you can add some of yours into.
Okay.
Maybe we can move stuff around. But I have a whole bunch. I've got about probably 25 movies or TV shows.
Okay, I didn't think it was going to be that many.
There's a lot.
Like you said top 10, and I was like, okay, well, maybe we might be struggling a little to get 10.
I mean, I figure we'll go over like the 10 that I kind of picked out, and then maybe I'll kind of run through real quickly the other ones I have just written down that, maybe we can argue back and forth. But all right, so I'm going to work my 10 to 1, all right? So number 10, this one is not a family-friendly movie, Final Destination 3. Ooh. So Final Destination 3 came out back in 2006. And if you know the Final Destination movies, they are the ones that, it's like basically you can't hide from death. Like death will find you. Mm-hmm. I think the first movie, a plane exploded or something.
Yes, it's the plane. Yeah.
The third one, it's a roller coaster. So they're literally at a theme park, and like the beginning of the movie is like this roller coaster falling apart, and it's horrific. Do not watch it. If you're squeamish, do not watch.
Absolutely not.
The scene. I rewatched it recently, and it's like,
I would say don't watch any of those movies. Like every one of those films traumatized me in some way. Like I will not drive behind a log truck on the highway because of the second film.
That's true. That was the second one. They've done like 7 of those.
So many.
Wasn't Devon Sawa in those movies, or was he in Jeepers Creepers? I forget.
Oh, I'm the worst with names. You're gonna have to help me out here.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in that one. She's in Final Destination 3. She's from she was in Scott Pilgrim Saves the World.
Yeah.
And Ben Lexa, do you have some more information to add to this?
Devon Sawa is known for Final Destination.
There you go. See, look at me paying attention to things. He was in the first one. I don't know if he made it through the first. Maybe
I highly doubt it.
I don't think so.
I don't see him on the cast list for 3, so I'm going to assume he did that. But yeah, so that one heavily features a roller coaster. Obviously, it's kind of like the central point of the movie. That's the kickoff of the movie. Pretty important. I figured that would go pretty well on a top 10 list.
Yeah, you definitely need to make sure in Final Destination you sit in the back of the car. Yeah. So that you'll live longer in the lore.
Yeah.
You don't want to ride in front on that movie.
Yeah, that one was rough. All right, moving on to another not so family-friendly movie, Zombieland.
Oh, yes, of course.
Zombieland, Jesse Eisenberg. It's got, who else is in that? It's got Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, obviously, and Abigail Breslin were the 4 main ones. So this is a zombie movie. Takes place, it's a fun zombie movie.
Yeah.
It's slow-moving zombies, which is the most important thing about a zombie movie.
Zombies we prefer, question mark?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the problem is, like, zombies that run aren't zombies. Like, those are infected. But anyway, let's see here. So Jesse Eisenberg is Columbus. Everyone is named after the city they're from. So it's Woody Harrelson is Tallahassee, Abigail's Little Rock, and Emma Stone is Wichita. And then they made a second one of this one. I don't know if you ever saw the second movie.
I did.
It was okay. But the end of the first movie, they go to a theme park.
Yes, indeed.
Which is very, very exciting. And then it's like a big final showdown at a theme park of all of them versus zombies
really
as they're attacking.
Cool use of rides,
Yeah.
if I could say it that way.
Yeah, and so Zombieland actually, they filmed it at Pacific Playland.
Playlands.
Yeah, that's. I think that's near you, right? That was up in New York.
There's
area?
a lot of playlands.
Are there?
Apparently, I'm
Okay.
realizing this now. I didn't know.
Oh yeah. So Final Destination 3. I'm not sure where they filmed it or if they even had an actual roller coaster. I don't know what they did with that one, but
Maybe movie magic.
yeah. So Zombieland was Pacific Playland, and and that's watch out for the clown zombies. Is all I gotta say. They're the freaky ones. Moving on to one shot a little closer to home for me. Spy Kids 2: The Island of Lost Dreams.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't even think of that.
Spy Kids 2, as a matter of fact, probably shot literally the building next to us.
No way.
Yeah. So Rodriguez, he has a studio just down the way now.
Okay.
But he used to shoot everything here. So
What?
so stage 3, so we're in stage 4 right now. Stage 3, there's a giant green screen in there. That's where he shot Sin City. That's where he shot Spy Kids. A lot of Spy Kids. Like there's a lot of stuff that he shot here.
Holy moly.
So very, very good chance that it was literally shot within 100 feet or so where we're sitting right now. Spy Kids 2, obviously the follow-up to the original Spy Kids movie, came out back in 2002.
Oh man.
So were you alive at that
yes,
point?
yes,
Okay,
I was
just
alive. How dare you,
making
sir?
sure. But yeah, this movie was shot here in Austin. Obviously, Robert Rodriguez was, he was the Austin sweetheart. He was making all his movies here in Austin. He's kind of moved on to other places now. But yeah, there's a lot of cool scenes and locations from the Austin area. The Texas State Capitol's in there a lot. They actually shot.
Think about that.
Yeah, there's a lake at one point. I think in the first movie they have like a submarine. It's all shot at Lake Travis out near my parents' house, which is pretty cool. But in Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams, they actually go to a theme park called Troublemaker, which Troublemaker Studios is the name of Robert Rodriguez's film production company. And it was actually all shot up at Six Flags over Texas, up in Arlington.
Six Flags.
Yeah, so that's all based here in Texas. So
Oh, cool.
that's kind of cool. That one, I figured it's a little closer to home. I was like, that's pretty cool.
You're making me want to rewatch it.
I dig that one. I haven't watched the Spy Kids movies in a long time.
Me either.
I heard there was going to be a reboot. I don't know if that's true or not.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know? So the kid who plays the main dude, what's his name? Junie.
Junie, yeah.
So it's Daryl Sabara. Mm-hmm. Do you know who he's married to?
No.
Meghan Trainor. Yeah.
What?
So him and Megan, they actually do a lot of like TikToks and like Instagram reels together.
Cute.
They're super, super cute.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So anyways, check those out.
I will. I'm gonna have to now.
Katie just shows them to me all the time, and it's like he's like you recognize me, and it's like this guy's like, you look familiar, and then he moves, and it's the Spy Kids poster. It's like, oh man, it's Judy. That's wild. So Ben, do you have something to add to it? I saw you reaching for your microphone. Ben
Yeah, I'm just looking at information on the new Spy Kids movie. I think it's titled Spy Kids Armageddon. And I mean, it seems like it's been in production for a while. Netflix is funding it. Robert Rodriguez is attached to it. And it looks like they just cast Zachary Levi and Gina Rodriguez to be a part of it.
Oh, wow.
So it sounds like it's happening. Armageddon?
This was reported back in September, so fairly recently.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. The cast list for Spy Kids is actually pretty impressive. Antonio Banderas.
Listen, I will never forget.
Carla Gugino.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Love her to death. Steve Buscemi was in this one. Oh, Mike Judge makes a little cameo as well. Mike Judge, another Austin native, very, very big celebrity. He did Beavis and Butthead.
Oh.
Yeah, also King of the Hill and
Okay.
a bunch of other things. Office Space was his. Office Space also shot in Austin.
What? I'm learning so much right now.
Oh, yeah, no theme parks in Austin, but or at least no theme parks in that movie in Austin. Cheech Marin, Danny Trejo, lots of amazing people in that
Danny
one.
Trejo, yes.
Ricardo Montalban as well. All right, so that was my number 8 pick.
Okay.
Working my way. You can argue stuff as we get further along.
Spy Kids 2-8. I'm just curious what's above that because that was a pretty high bar for me.
Okay, all right, that's a good one. So, okay, number 7, we've been talking about this one for a while. The Warriors.
Yes.
Warriors.
Warriors.
Those of you who haven't seen this movie, doesn't shock me. This is a movie that came out a long time ago. I want to say it was 1979 this one came out.
That's a great year for film.
Very good year for film. 79 and 82, great movie, great movie years. But anyway, The Warriors is a movie about a series, a bunch of different street gangs in New York City that all like come together, and then the Warriors, who's one street gang, they end up like getting in like on the bad side of all the other gangs.
Yeah,
and
they
like,
get framed essentially for taking down, I guess, the big honcho of all of the biggest gang.
Can you dig it? But it's wild. There's like mime gangs and like rollerblade or like roller skaters. The whole movie is camp and fantastic and old school 70s like weird movies. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
It's a good experience.
And okay, so you've watched it recently. I haven't seen it in a while, but the Warriors, they have these leather jackets. It's awesome. Rockstar actually made a video game based on the movie.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, Rockstar, they made the Warriors, the video game, back in the early 2000s.
Was it like a beat 'em up or?
Yeah, like a side scroller beat 'em up.
Oh,
kind
cool!
Of movie,
That's awesome.
So anyway, the Warriors, weird movie, good movie, but the whole thing is the Warriors, their home base is Coney Island.
Yes.
Which Coney Island is very, very famous theme park. You might recognize it. I forgot to put it on this list, but you might recognize it from Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
Right? At the very end, they crashed the plane into Coney Island there at the end.
R.I.P.
Yeah, we've seen Coney Island pop up in a few different things. As a matter of fact, there's another thing on here I forgot to put on. The Wonder Wharf from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah,
but that's a TV show, not a movie. But anyway, Warriors.
There's a Bob's Burgers movies, Jack. I would like to.
That's true. Bob's Burgers does have a movie, and as a matter of fact, the movie does take place in Wonder Wharf. So there you go. Okay, yeah. So there we go. Okay, sweet. There's a lot of theme park movies, or a lot of theme parks and movies. I'm glad we're talking about them now. So anyway, the Warriors. I love that movie. Do you enjoy that one?
I like that movie. It's fun. Like, I didn't know what I was expecting going into it. I like watching movies as well. It doesn't matter how old they are. But when it's a movie based in New York, like that's where I'm from. It's just like I just get all nostalgic and seeing all those shots, and then especially like the whole film is really following them like on the train, essentially trying to get back from uptown all the way downtown, and that's kind of like my route. Like
cool.
I've done that travel a lot of times, so the whole time I'm like, I recognize that spot. Okay, that's the train. I know that station.
That's so cool. Also, I mean, like my knowledge of New York was very much based on movies, and so it's been fun to watch New York change throughout the year. From like you know the 70s movies. You know, you're talking like your Warriors type movies. You see that it's like it feels like New York is kind of grungy, and like a little bit scary. But now it's like it feels like New York has gotten a lot cleaner, little bit like shinier, and you know.
Well, it depends on the borough, Jack. But you're totally right.
I watch In the Heights, and I'm like, I want to go there. It should be fun. Anyway, all right, moving on to number 6, another movie, maybe not super kid friendly, but one of my favorites, Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Okay.
So Beverly Hills Cop 3, Axel Foley is obviously Eddie Murphy's character. He's a cop from Detroit, goes to New York, goes to California, goes to Beverly Hills.
Oof.
Gets stuck. Him and Judge Reinhold are in it. Love Judge Reinhold. But anyway, the third one, I'll read the plot for it. Axel Foley, while investigating a car theft ring, comes across something much bigger than that. The same men who killed his boss are running a counterfeit money ring out of a theme park in Los Angeles. Of course they are.
That's so fun. Out of a theme park? Are all the movies that ridiculous in plot?
The first movie involved a mansion and a whole shootout. I forget exactly why he was there. I think like his old partner got killed or something, but I forget what 2 was about. But 3 started getting a little bit weird. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what theme park and how are they getting away with this? I think I have to add this to my movie list now, Jack.
Oh no, Beverly Hills Cop 3 is great. All the Beverly Hills Cop movies are fantastic. Great soundtrack. The dun, 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 dun. It's called Axel F is the name of that song. Anyway. That's it. You've heard it everywhere. And then they had the
frog,
the dancing frog remake of it. That one actually was filmed at Wonder World. That was the name of the park in the movie.
Okay.
And it was Paramount's Great America, which I think it's called California's Great America now.
Great America. Yeah. My mom used to work there as a kid, and apparently my grandfather used to like be a part of, I don't know what you would call their Imagineers or whatever, but I have a whole history, apparently. I was finding out recently that they grew up around there, worked with them, and got some cool exclusive access back in the day.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Well, that's also where they filmed Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Well, now I know.
There you go. So that's pretty awesome. I'm trying to see if I missed anything here with the other one. Spike is 2, 6 packs, but no, we're good. Oh yeah, it's Pacific Planet. Okay, cool. So check out the movie. Good movie. It's one of Eddie Murphy. I mean, Eddie Murphy had an amazing run during the 80s and 90s. So anyway, check that one out. Moving on. So we've got 6 through 10. So 6 was Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Okay.
Number 7 was The Warriors. Spy Kids 2 was number 8. Number 9 was Zombieland. And number 10, we have Final Destination 3. So that's my 6 through 10.
Okay, so top 5.
We're going top 5.
All right.
All right, moving through it now. Number 5, classic, one of the best movie songs of all time, Free Willy.
I don't know. That's just not what I thought you were going to say.
I'm getting applause over here. Come on, what? No, Free Willy, Michael Jackson.
I've seen Free Willy.
Hold me like the river Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on, that's...
I didn't know that was for that movie.
Yeah. I want to say it was over the credits, but yeah, it was amazing. The poster, the kid, like
with the fist in it,
the big whale jumping over it. Willy.
I feel like I blocked that out of my mind as someone who grew up near like SeaWorld and like I was like, I don't know, man, whales and marine life,
orcas jumping
too much.
Obviously the entire movie takes place inside of a water park. You know, it's the park where Willie lives, unfortunately.
That's so smart. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's classic. That was 1993. When a boy learns that a beloved killer whale is to be killed by the aquarium owners, the boy risks everything to free the whale. And so this was kind of, I would argue this was kind of like the spark that drove a lot of like conservationists to start being like, hey, maybe we should have put whales in captivity, in tanks, and then it went on to you get like a documentary like Blackfish, and it's like, okay. And this, I think, maybe was the turning point. Unfortunately, this may have also been when like SeaWorld got really popular.
That's what I'm saying.
Because suddenly people wanted to see these giant things in person.
I feel like and I grew up in Florida for grade school. I feel like we watched this movie too many times.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you go, I don't know if they did this back in your day, but we have like extended days where you can't go to school like right on time. So your parents drop you off like early or you like stay later after school. And they would play movies a lot of the time. Okay. And this was in the rotation. So I think I just blocked it out of my mind. I was like, please, no, not again with the fish.
Not again with the fish. I don't know. It's been forever since I've seen this movie. And I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at the cast. Michael Madsen's in this.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Michael Madsen. Michael Ironside is also in this. I'm going to assume Michael Ironside's probably a bad guy because he's awesome. Lori Petty, she's fantastic. She's in this. She was great in A League of Their Own. I don't know if you ever saw
League
that.
Of Their Own,
and Tank Girl. Richard Ryle, I'm not sure how to say his name. He's a character actor I'm sure you'd recognize. Anyway, but yeah, so this one obviously had the big Michael Jackson song. That was the big thing. Song. I love that song. It's a great one. So that's my number 5.
And that one is family friendly.
That one's family friendly.
So you can watch that one.
Yeah, you can watch that and then hate SeaWorld afterwards. So moving on, number 4, one of my favorites of all time. I mean, obviously the next ones are all going to be pretty high up for me. Number 4, National Lampoon's Vacation, which I love this movie. Chevy Chase. It's one of the best movies. I'm talking about the original Vacation, the one that came out back in 1983, also rated R as well. It's a little troubling because it comes on TBS all the time, and so you don't assume it's a rated R movie, but it's a rated R movie. Anyway, great movie. Beverly D'Angelo's in it. Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo. It's Clark and Ellen Griswold. Done a whole bunch of movies. They did European Vacation, Christmas Vacation, Vegas Vacation, and it's great. Cousin Eddie is in it. Fantastic movie. And I'm going to assume you haven't seen this movie.
So I comedy straight away from me because I feel like growing up in my era, comedies like early 90s were typically not family friendly. So my parents strayed away from me watching them. But recently I did learn of, I guess, like the National Lampoon Collective of being like comedy group and stuff. So hearing about all the movies and now being an adult, I'm like, all right, which ones do I need to watch? So this one I have to add to the list.
So you got to be careful about National Lampoon. So National Lampoon's was a magazine that started in Harvard, I believe. Okay. It was basically like a comedy magazine that maybe not Harvard, but somewhere up there. And it was, world known as like, this was like the funniest college paper. Tons of amazing comedic actors came out of there. And then like that spawned, like a lot of Lampoon artists got pulled for Saturday Night Live, and they've gone on to then they started making movies. So like Animal House was like the first big movie they made.
Oh, okay, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, and so they went on to like help support I want to say Ghostbusters, Stripes, like a lot of those movies, like the old John Landis movies. Anything like Harold Ramis was involved with, like Caddyshack. Those kinds of films were very like Lampoon groups. The actual brand of National Lampoons ended up getting sold in like the 90s.
Okay.
and they'll slap National Lampoons on pretty much any movie that pays them enough. So really, they kind of started like veering off and getting
from
some,
like the true.
Yeah, for like there were some quality ones. Like Christmas Vacation was amazing. That might be the last sort of like real good National Lampoons movie. I want to say like even it was like National Lampoon's Van Wilder. Like technically Van Wilder is a National Lampoon's movie, which does make sense. But National Lampoon's Vacation follows the story of the Griswolds, which are, you know, a suburban American family. Clark and Ellen are the parents, and then Rusty and Audrey are the kids. Rusty's actually Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
The son and daughter have changed multiple times. They're never the same actor and actrtress. They've always
only
changed.
The son and daughter though. Yeah. Usually they keep the parents the same.
Yeah. So Rusty and Audrey have changed in every single movie they've done. All four of them. I want to say one of the Audreys came back for like a spin-off movie or something. But anyway, so the whole plot of the movie is they want to go to Wally World.
Wally World.
And so they're taking a road trip across America to get to Wally World, and chaos ensues, and it's hilarious.
I had to do a double take. My family, we would call Walmart Wally World.
Yeah. No, so Wally World.
Is this a place? Is that like a real place, or is that the name of it in the movie?
It's the name of the movie. It's actually, they shot it at Six Flags Magic Mountain out in California. So, but yeah, like I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, don't, because I'm going to watch it.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's one of those movies now. Maybe some of the jokes probably don't hold up. You know, any movie shot back in when did this one come out? It came out 83. There's going to be some jokes that don't land properly now.
Early 2000s is sometimes bad too. So I go in and I kind of go in there knowing. Sometimes if you go in there knowing, hey, this is what to expect, some things might not hit anymore, I can watch it and still have a good time.
All right, that's good. So anyway, this one, honestly, like I watched this so many times with my parents growing up. My dad loves comedies. So like him and I would watch this. We watched Blues Brothers, like Ghostbusters. Like my love of 80s movies came from watching with him.
All right, well, you about to just put me on, Jack.
All right. There we go. All right, so Vacation, fantastic movie. Go watch that one. Number 3. We're in our top 3. We're on the podium now. So the next one's, okay, there's one that I'm pretty sure you'll agree with, and the other two you'd be like, But anyway, number 3 on the podium, bronze medal, Jurassic Park. The whole movie's a theme park.
Okay, yeah.
It's all in a theme park.
Sure.
The entire thing.
That's top 3 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jurassic Park.
Why didn't I even think about that, Jack? You're a genius.
So Jurassic Park, and I mean, when I say Jurassic Park, I mean the whole series.
You mean
like
the
Jurassic
whole series?
World. Because I mean,
even
like,
the reboots, it's still a theme park.
They're sequels, not reboots.
Oh, sorry, you're right. They're sequels. You're right. I'm sorry.
So anyway, 6 Jurassic Park movies, or 3 Jurassic Park, 3 Jurassic World movies. All take place. I mean, literally, it's in the name. Park is half of the name. It's all about building a theme park. It was Hammond trying to make a theme park where you get people to come and look at dinosaurs. Like, Mommy, look at the dinosaurs. I can see them. Anyway, obviously, everyone's seen this movie. Everyone knows this movie. There are Jurassic Park lands inside of actual theme parks. But in California and in Orlando as well. So this one, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
like it. I'm only a little hesitant for it being top 3. I probably would switch it for your Lampoon pick just because the plot of that film is to get to the theme park.
That makes sense.
There's no actual theme park in this movie.
What? No, yeah, absolutely there's a theme park in the movie. The whole thing is a theme park.
No, but they're not like on location.
They have the Discovery Center. They have the ride.
Park.
There are going to be dinosaurs in here, a dinosaur ride, right? In your dinosaur park. Obviously, they go around. They see the dinosaurs.
They do in the little pod or whatever, and they're riding their jeeps.
Yeah, they're in their little.
But
explorers.
like, there's no like ride. They're not like on location. I can't go. Boom! That was shot in Six Flags.
Well, that's true. Well, I mean, like Jurassic World. So Jurassic Park obviously never really worked out. Like the first 3 Jurassic Park movies is like, we didn't get this right.
Jurassic World, not getting it right.
And I will say, I appreciate Jurassic World opens and it's like, we figured it out. We got a park that's been open for years, so much so that people are bored of it already. It's like, okay, that's an actual park. And there are rides in that one. They have like those little circle pod things that they go around. And I want to say there's there's a roller coaster or something. And actually, even technically, and I don't know if it's canon or not, but Velocicoaster exists within Jurassic World.
Oh, it's canon.
Yeah, well, in the timeline, it takes place before everything goes wrong in Jurassic World.
You're right.
So, hypothetically, theoretically, canonically, Velocicoaster exists at Jurassic World.
I need that on a shirt. Hypothetically, theoretically, canonically.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
All right. It's a little bit of I'm just saying your previous pick, I probably would have swapped the two.
Okay.
I like where you're going, though. Like, you're on the money with this
all right.
one.
Well, if that's the case, you're going to hate the next two.
Oh, no.
Well, maybe not the first one. I mean, you haven't seen it, though. I'm pretty sure. All right. Number 2 on my list, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh.
Have you seen this one?
Most excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. Where they lose Napoleon at the end of the movie. Where does Napoleon go? Waterloo. That's right. Napoleon goes to a water park, which is a theme park. I'm counting it. We've done water park stuff. They lose Napoleon at Waterloo, and then it's him going around on his slide in his onesie.
In his onesie.
Yeah, pretty huge. That's like a big thing because they lose a historical figure inside of a theme park.
It's a good part of the movie. That movie is phenomenal. Like, I'm so upset it took me that many years of my existence to finally see it.
Oh, it's a good movie.
It is such a great film.
The second one's not as good. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. It's okay. It gets a little bit weird. And then was Bill and Ted Face the Music? That one came out not too long ago. The follow up.
Oh yeah.
It's all right.
Meh.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to see the characters again, but it's not like, oh my god, it's amazing. But it's like, okay,
the original is like, it's such a great commentary on things, and actually like a really good like educational experience.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea going into it. You hear a lot about Bill and Ted and kind of what it's associated with and the people that watch it, whatever that means. So I go in thinking, okay, this is not going to be family friendly. Totally, dude. Like, this is going to be something I'm going to snooze off to. I was fully engaged.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's a fun movie. I mean, it's definitely like those 80s movies where it's like, okay, this is just this, here's the plot and we're going. And it's like, all right, this makes no sense. I mean, it came out, I linked the wrong thing. I linked the TV show.
Oh, no.
Which they had a TV show as well. So, it was Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves. Obviously, Keanu Reeves as a baby.
A bouncing baby boy.
Yeah. It's when did this one come out? This Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out. Why is this not working?
February 17th, 1989.
Thank you.
I said 87, so okay, not bad.
Yeah, and then Bogus Journey came out in 91 as well. But yeah, this one great. I mean, George Carlin as Rufus, one of the coolest.
And my dude, Socrates.
Yeah, Socrates. Yeah,
so
Abraham
good.
Lincoln saying "Party on, dudes." It's
Party on. It's so good.
Yeah. San Dimas High School football rules.
I was gonna say, doesn't Napoleon end up at like a Chuck E. Cheese type thing? Like, where do we draw the line here? Are play centers theme park adjacent enough?
Well, they went to a shopping mall.
Okay.
And Genghis Khan went nuts in the auctions, which was like the sporting goods store. And then
I think he's like eating like food or whatever, and I felt like he was at like this kind of like.
Were they at a Chuck E. Cheese?
I don't know. It wasn't like an actual Chuck E. Cheese, but it had that vibe where it was like there are these, like the stage in the background, there's a bunch of kids everywhere, all excited. Like he might have hijacked the birthday party.
That sounds right.
It sounds right, but I don't know what it was.
There's that montage of chaos at the end where it's like Joan of Arc is at like at a jazzercise studio.
Yes.
And it's all wild. So anyway,
but 2 for that pick.
I love that movie. I don't know. It's pretty high up there, but I figure it's a pretty key moment. They got to get Napoleon out of Waterloo. That's pretty significant for me. Anyway, I'm not sure where they filmed that one. I'm not sure where the actual water park was they filmed it, but anyway. All right, my number 1. This will be controversial.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments if you agree with this or not. My number 1, this movie growing up was one of my most important movies of all time. Like this was a movie that really kind of like solidified who I was as a kid and how it sort of had made my passions valid.
Okay.
And so very important for me. My number 1 movie involving theme parks, The Wizard. 1989, Fred Savage, Jenny Lewis, Luke Edwards, or the 3 kids. Jenny Lewis, who went on to be in She and Him, which is like a really fantastic band. Fred Savage, obviously, Wonder Years has gone on. He started directing It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episodes, tons of other stuff. It's got Christian Slater in it. It's got Beau Bridges in it. It's got, tons and tons of amazing, just like weird cameos. But in the movie, the whole plot of the movie is Fred Savage has a younger brother named Jimmy So Fred Savage is Corey Woods. Jimmy Woods is the younger kid. He's obviously got autism, or he's on the spectrum or something. He's just like doesn't really interact with people, but he's really good at video games. And Fred Savage recognized that, and he's like, oh, there's this video game competition in California we can go to called Video Game Armageddon, and if you go there, you can win a whole bunch of money and then save the family. Like basically, like they're getting torn apart and they need money.
Okay.
And so he's like, we can go there. So it's this road trip movie with these children road tripping across the country to go to California. And ultimately, the Video Game Armageddon is actually hosted at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Really?
Yeah. And at one point, and of course, they're being chased by like a bounty hunter. Like the mom hired a bounty hunter to try to find the kids. It's very much an 80s movie. And so, but they're trying to run from this bounty hunter at Universal Studios, and they're like running along like King Kong and like.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And it's like you see, but they're like running underneath it and stuff, like on the tram tour. It's like, oh my gosh. And so it was, and then like through the backlot area and everything. And so like, but the theme park is like where the whole thing is hosted. And I remember that being a huge, I mean, that for me was like a huge thing in my life. And the end of the movie, he makes it this competition. Playing the competition, they unveil a surprise game, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bump, bump. And this is before the game's out. Like,
Wow.
It's like the first time you ever saw it was in this movie.
Wow, that's insane.
Huge as a kid. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So the whole idea was like this movie made video games like, oh, this is something important and something cool and something that you can be passionate about and not feel weird about. And like that was the whole thing about this movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I loved it because like growing up as a kid, I played video games, and I was kind of a weirdo because I played video games. And it's not the sort of timeline, the sort of like, feelings around video games have changed considerably from the 80s to now. I was the kid who was like, I just want to play Street Fighter on my Super Nintendo. And it was like, what? You don't want to go outside and play football? I was like, no. Maybe. Anyway, so The Wizard is my number one. As a matter of fact, I did I was working with a movie website for a while, writing for them, and I was able to work with the Alamo Drafthouse in Austin.
Oh, nice.
And we put on a Wizard reunion screening.
Oh, wow.
Where we had Fred Savage come out, Luke Edwards came out for it, and the director Todd Holland came out as well.
No way.
And Todd Holland and I actually, when I was writing for this movie website, he directed a movie called Firehouse Dog. It's like a family movie.
Okay.
And he had written the website. He's like, hey, I directed this movie. I'd love to talk about it. As a family picture. I know it's not usually what you cover, whatever. And so one of the guys I was writing with, he sent me his email. He's like, hey, this guy also directed The Wizard. I know you love that. And so I wrote him back. I'm like, hey, love to talk about this. Also, can we talk about The Wizard? Because this is my favorite movie. And so him and I, like, we had a conversation, like a 2-hour long conversation talking about The Wizard and like the making of it and stuff. And then I'm like, we'd love to do a screening of it here in Austin. And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, if you could reach out to Fred Savage, because like Fred Savage, like Todd and Fred were friends, and Todd Holland kind of helped Fred Savage become a director.
Okay, cool.
And so they became buddies that way. And so Fred was nervous that we were making a joke of it. And I wrote out like this 2-page long email explaining how important this movie was to me. And he sent that on to Fred Savage, and Fred Savage was like, cool, I'm in. And then he came out for it. And so, actually at the screening, Fred Savage and Todd Holland gave me a power glove.
Oh my
goodness. Like an inbox power glove.
Holy moly.
It's a big part of the movie. You have to watch the movie. It's a big part of the actual movie.
The internet, you've mentioned this movie definitely on a couple occasions on the podcast here, and the community has tweeted me saying that I need to watch this film with a GIF of that scene with the power glove. So I have to watch it now.
Yeah.
I'm watching it this weekekend now. It's happening.
It's fantastic. So that is my number one. There's more of a personal take on that one, but that's my number one.
All right.
Because they literally running around like King Kong, like underneath the base of it, which is wild. So, and I want to say they go through the earthquake area too, and they have like the Battlestar Galactica characters. It's all mixed in. So that's my number one. So let's run down the list. Number 10, Final Destination 3. Number 9, Zombieland. Number 8, Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams. Number 7, The Warriors. Number 6, Beverly Hills Cop 3. Number 5, Free Willy. Number 4, National Lampoon's Vacation. Number 3, Jurassic Park. Number 2, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And number 1, The Wizard. So that's my top 10. Let me know if you agree in the comments over at roosterteeth.com. I've got some other ones written down.
Honorable mentions? Please tell me.
I got lots of honorable mentions here.
Because there are like 3 at least that you didn't say that would be in my top 5.
I've got a whole bunch. Ben threw some in here too. I'd say Ben Lexa actually threw some more in here as well. So, okay, I've got, so here, I'll go down some of them. Big, obviously. Tom Hanks, Big.
That would be in my top 5, for sure.
That's Playland,
right? That's Playland in New York purchase.
Very, very cool.
Yes.
then I've got another one here, Adventureland, with another Jesse Eisenberg movie. The whole movie takes place in a theme park as well. Sharknado 3.
No, don't.
I think it's called Sharknado 3. Oh, hell no.
Oh no.
That one actually ends up at Universal Studios in Orlando at some point. Like, that one's wild. Westworld. Obviously, it's kind of like Jurassic Park. Like, it's a whole theme park, the whole idea of it. A little bit more intense than Jurassic Park, but Toy Story 4, because there's a whole carnival that, like, it's Woody and Bo Peep are all they're doing the whole thing.
That's a good one.
Buzz gets pinned to the wall, and he meets not Keenan and Kel, meets Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key. And let's see here, I've got Scooby-Doo. The movie Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, yes.
They go to Spooky Island.
Yep.
See, that's another one. This is one I don't know about, but in 1977, there was a movie released called Roller Coaster, which apparently terrorists took over a theme park and like threatened to like destroy the whole thing. It came out in 1977, within a few weeks of another big movie that came out in 1977. Can you think of any big movies that came out in 1977?
You're really, really pulling my brain waves right
Probably
now.
the biggest movie ever to come out of 1977.
I can't do it. I'm failing you, Jack.
Little movie took place in a galaxy far, far away.
A Star Wars?
Star Wars. This came out within a few weeks of Star Wars.
Oh, man.
So
no wonder.
Everyone forgot about Roller Coaster. Saving Mr. Banks, which is Tom Hanks plays Walt Disney.
Hanks.
Takes place in Disneyland. That movie might be a little bit, little whitewashed around like
Inappropriate.
Well, it's all about making Mary Poppins. All about making Mary Poppins, and apparently the woman who had the rights to Mary Poppins hated the movie and hated everything they did with it, and they tried to make it like, oh, we made a fun thing out of it. No, they apparently they really kind of like screwed her over.
Ooh.
And I want to say that movie came out after she passed away, so they were able to actually make it happen. Anyway, a little bit sketchy stuff behind that, but anyway, Disneyland, yay! Bring It On, In It to Win It.
Yes! That would be my top 5. That right there. that film is almost all entirely shot in Universal Orlando.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding? Dueling dragons with the cheerleader move.
Yeah, they gotta do a thing. I don't know. I haven't seen this one.
It's like the whole plot is like they're going to this competition and they're trying to win this big competition is here at Universal, and they're there and all these iconic scenes, and I like it because I grew up there, so I'm like, that's the Hard Rock Cafe, and that's that, and the like winning thing is them trying to do the move that like emulates Dueling Dragons, like throwing up the cheerleaders, the flyers to get that like flip, like just like the roller,
like
exactly, and that's like what gets them to win the competition. So such a funny movie.
So that they bring it.
Okay,
that's
on,
good.
and they were in it to win it.
And they won it.
They
were on it to want it. Well, speaking of Universal Orlando, House on Haunted Hill. The beginning of that movie, Jeffrey Rush has a roller coaster, and it's the Incredible Hulk.
It's the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. You said that right now.
Yeah. We actually, when we did the Incredible Hulk episode forever ago, I brought that up because I'd never seen that. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's totally the Incredible Hulk. Like in the movie, like the Incredible, like the sort of the track breaks and they go sailing off and like, but then it's like, oh, it's all fake actually. Anyway, it's the whole thing. 3 Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. Which,
that sounds like an anime title.
3 Ninjas was like in this movie, it was like a 90s movie where like kids become ninjas. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's like when karate became a huge thing. And this was, I think, the 3rd or 4th sequel.
Okay.
High Noon at Mega Mountain. That's another great one. So I asked Gavin if there were any theme parks and movies, like any British theme parks and movies or TV shows or anything. And he brought up that there was an episode of The In-Betweeners that they actually shot at Thorpe Park.
Oh, wow.
Which that's the park that Jeff and I went to forever ago. And yeah, they shot, there was an episode they went to a theme park and it was Thorpe Park. That show's a bit inappropriate now, I would say.
Inappropriate.
But anyway, it's interesting. If you want to YouTube it, do it at your own risk. Action Park, which is Johnny Knoxville. You know, they basically recreated Traction Park, the one from New Jersey, or Action Park up in New Jersey. And then I got something here from Ben. Ben says Moron Mountain from Space Jam. Which, yeah, obviously.
It's the whole plot of the movie. He's like trying to get the Looney Tunes to come to the park to help
come to the theme park.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, okay, so you'll be happy with this one. Been through another one in here. Lester's Possum Park from A Goofy Movie.
A Goofy Movie! Yes! Yes!
What is this song here, Ben? Visit Balula's farm of fiddles, put our varmints, taste our victuals.
Yep.
Lulu's lizard gizzard pies, a work of art. Then do a do-si-do and dance. There's a possum in your pants.
There's a possum in your pants.
Down at Lester's Possum Park.
Jack, I would not ruin that movie for you. It's a key part of the movie that you just have to experience.
You have to experience it
at the Possum Park. But anyway, do you have any more off the top of your head that I have missed?
I mean, I was gonna does I don't know. That's not really a theme park, but I started hearing the song and I immediately thought of the Duloc song.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, that's kind of theme park-esque at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I think the only other one I throw into the ring that's a series, right, is Kids Next Door. They go to Rainbow Monkey Park very often, and a whole Rainbow Monkey Island.
Rainbow Monkey Island.
It's like their like stuffed animal mascot.
Okay.
Number 3 loves them, and they're like a popular icon in the world. So they have like theme parks and tons of merchandise, and they're brainwashing the kids with their love of the stuffed animals. So, but it's pretty theme parky, and they do some cool episodes with it, and I love it. And they have a very interesting theme song too. So
nice. Well, that's it for our look at various movies and TV shows with theme parks in them. Now I'm going to ask you to go to roosterteeth.com and in the comments, let us know what your favorite theme park representation in a movie is. It can be one from this list here and explain why you want that. But we want to know. We want to know what you think. What do we miss? What are we obviously wrong about?
Please
let me know how Bill and Ted shouldn't be number 2. Anyway,
I'm still confused on that one, Jack. Number 2.
Waterloo.
Number
anyway,
2?
So let us know over there, and then when we do our live stream, our next live stream will be in March at some point. We'll go through and we'll talk about some of them in our live stream, and we'll send out some theme park maps to the people who get theirs or read about on the thing. What you got?
I remembered an anime.
What's that?
It's Bryant Park. It's anime all in a theme park. It's just like the anime's about a theme park, and it's
Bryant
an anime.
Park?
I'm pretty sure Bryant's a theme park. Hold on, I got you.
All right, you look that up. I'm going to do the closing stuff here. So thank you again, everyone who's listened and watched our show. We really do appreciate it. If you go to store.roosterteeth.com, pick up some merchandise that supports our show directly. If you want to mail us a postcard, you can send it to Annual Pass, care of Rooster Teeth Productions, 1901 East 51st Street, Austin, Texas, 78723. I love getting postcards. Eventually, we're going to have a proper studio where we can put them all up on a wall behind us. And and also grab some more postcards in the store. Follow us on the social media. We are annual_pass on Twitter and on Instagram. We are Annual Pass Pod on TikTok. And you can see all of that. YouTube.com/annual pass as well. And BK, what do you got?
It is a Moggy Brilliant Park. It's not Bryant. It's Brilliant. And you should check it out. It's a light novel and an anime, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, there you go. I don't know anything about that. What did you learn today, BK?
I learned that I have a lot of 80s movies I need to catch up on. I missed that era.
I need to give you a whole list of them.
Yeah, please hook me up. Andrew, you majored in film?
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk shop after this.
RTF major from the University of Texas. Hook 'em horns. Graduated 2005.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all. We'll get onto that later. But we love you. Thank you so much for listening to Annual Pass. We really do appreciate it. Make sure to spread the word. Let your friends know about this show. If you want to review it, rate it, that gets us pushed up in Spotify and everywhere else it goes. So let us know how much you love the podcast. So that's going to do it for us today. We love you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.